Welcome to my channel. This is ADL. Today is Wednesday, and I decided to make a video today in the middle of the week to talk about how important is to use our free time after work and use this short time in a creative manner. So before I start talking, I will try to be very short, very concise. In my last video, I was talking about this new project. I'm going to start doing the collage. I just placed the acrylic peelings, so I know where I'm going to start gluing everything. And that's what I'm going to do, of course, in the meantime. And someone asked me to she asked me, well, how can you manage if you have a full-time job? How can you manage to stay sane and have the energy? I told her, like, it's difficult sometimes for me because, yes, I do have a full-time job, and it can be very tiring for me to come back home and try to do things, right? Like either practice the piano or do some paintings or drawings. The drawing part, I pretty much do it when I'm on my way to work, but that's another topic. I'll try to stay focused as I do this, because if I talk and do this at the same time, I tend to lose some focus and start mumbling. And I try to avoid to mumble and being repetitive. So bear with me as I do this. So I know that many people have a full-time job or part-time job, and even after probably the part-time job or the full-time job, they have obligations at home. Probably they have a kid, two kids. Probably they have to take care of someone. Probably they have other type of responsibilities. Maybe they have a second job. Who knows? And it can be very, very hard in terms of after finishing your full-time job, you come back home and you have to do other obligations, right? You have to cook dinner, probably you have to do laundry, probably you have to, I don't know, take care of someone. And probably many of us, we don't have physical energy left to do all that sometimes, right? And I just have my dog, and I have to take care of her, and I enjoy taking her out for walks, but she's very demanding. So each person have different needs and different activities after they come back from work, right? So my goal today is to talk about how can we stay sane and avoid collapsing in the couch every single day watching TV or feeling miserable about ourselves or in our lives. And my recommendation is to create something to stay active, mentally active, keep your creative mind active, because I believe that creativity helps us to not only to stay sane, to stay mentally healthy, stable, but also help us to keep our souls alive. I mean, with all honesty, I don't know in what position I would be if I wouldn't have my hobbies. I think I will be very miserable and just mentally unstable because just working and waking up early and do your activities that sound more like obligations, like cooking dinner or doing laundry or doing dishes or things like that those type of activities sometimes they don't bring us pleasure. And so we need to find something that brings us pleasure and keep our hearts and souls alive. That's my opinion. If, for instance, if you don't know how to paint, you don't know how to play an instrument, you don't just, I know many people like, oh, I have nothing to do, like I'm zero talent, I don't have idea what to do. I will tell you what I tell them. Like, you don't need to spend lots of money on something. It's just you have to do some sort of introspection, I think, to get to know yourself and to understand what you like doing and what you don't like doing. But for instance, I know people that, oh, well, I love writing poems. Like, oh, great, but I'm not a writer. And this is fine. You don't have to have a degree in creative writing, because it's just, that's not the point. Um, the point is that you are doing something that you enjoy doing for your own sake. And you don't have to seek nobody's validation or approval to do whatever you like doing. I think that it's very important to take care of ourselves, not only physically but also mentally, especially nowadays that there's so many, the world is collapsing in our shoulders. And if we don't find a creative way to escape from that fucked up reality, we can drive crazy. um or, I mean, not literally crazy, but we will be very super sour, and stress will increase, and unhappiness, and other maybe depression issues might come in the future. So again, that would be my humble recommendation for those who work a full-time job, and to find something for yourself. Go out for a walk, or if you are too tired, sometimes you're too tired, physically we are tired. Right now, for instance, I just want to lay down in my bed and watch TV, but I thought, like, I'm gonna do this video and I'm gonna work on my project, because sometimes I wait for my big projects. I wait for the weekend to work on my big projects, and I don't think, and that really puts me way behind, because it takes more time for me to finish these projects, just because I'm waiting for the perfect weekend to do this. So I think I am going to start doing, working on my big projects in the weekdays. Of course, sometimes if you feel super tired, physically talking or mentally talking, it's okay to take a break and just not do it. Don't do it. But follow a schedule, in terms of, for instance, on Mondays, you don't want to do anything, don't do anything, just watch a movie, who knows. Or on Tuesdays, I'm gonna play my guitar, for instance. Or on Tuesdays, I'm going for a half-hour walk after my dinner. Also, include exercise in our daily lives. It's very important to stay active. In my job, I work at least between 6,500 to 8,000 steps every single day. And so when I come back home, my dog wants to go outside and I don't feel like going outside. However, I take her outside because, you know, she needs to go outside. So if we force ourselves a little bit and we force our brains to obey our brains, it's gonna be very easy to come up with a with with a discipline. It will be easier for you to do other type of things because you are already creating a discipline in your life, a habit. You don't have to do everything in one day. Like before, I'm about to finish this video, but I just want to let you know that before I used to think like, well, I want to do this, I want to play my piano for an hour, I want to do some art stuff, and I want to do my workout. So that is, I'm talking about 3 hours of my evening plus my dog. 4 hours. I don't have time for that because I have to manage my time, because I know I don't have to do only that. I have to prepare my lunch for the next day. I have to, get ready, for the next day. And or sometimes, I mean, I feel very, very, very tired and I feel like doing nothing. So again, I think that just take it day by day, task by task. That's my new you know my new mindset. Take it slowly, day by day. For instance, right now I finished this video, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna finish this collage, and then I will set it, aside, and then I'm gonna do my workout, take my dog again out because she has to go to the bathroom like 6 times during the evening. So yeah, so just create a quick, organize your time. Like create, I don't want to say create a quick schedule, because if you are working full-time or a part-time job, the last thing that you want to deal is with a schedule, because you already are dealing with a schedule every single day. So just make some time in your brain and like, okay, today I'm gonna sit down to do a crochet project, or knitting today, or who knows, writing on my journal, or I don't know. There's so many, so many activities out there that you should, I think, explore and see which one fits you the best. And well, if you have a hobby or something that you enjoy doing the best, let me know in the comments. Anything counts, and you don't have to spend a bunch of money for that. So anything counts. Anyway, thank you for listening and stopping by. Have a nice evening. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.